Hi, and welcome to The Juice, where I sit down with cutting-edge business owners and unique, interesting, and inspiring individuals to learn, laugh, and grow. Today's featured guest is Tim Roman. Tim is founder, owner, and CEO of Imperial. Hey, Tim.
How are you?
How are you?
Good. Glad to be here.
Thanks for being here.
Of course.
Before we get started talking about you and your awesome success, are you up for a game?
Absolutely.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to get the timer set, and you have 1 minute to answer all these questions. If you don't answer them in a minute, you don't win the gift card.
All right. Let's do it.
All right, tell me when you're ready. Okay. What is your favorite juice drink?
Banana. Milkshake. But it's not a juice drink. Okay, I'm sorry. Mango banana.
Perfect. Leader or follower?
Leader.
Quality of life or quantity of life?
Quality.
What is your best feature?
Humor.
That's a good one. Mountains or beach?
Mountains.
Favorite color?
Black.
Library or museum?
Museum.
Text or call?
Text.
What is your greatest achievement?
Formula One paddock.
Any tattoos?
Yes.
Gucci or Chanel?
Gucci.
What is, dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Milk.
Favorite cuisine?
Turkish.
Favorite president?
President? Obama.
Cat or dog?
Dog.
Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
What is your best characteristic?
Attention to detail.
Favorite movie?
Ooh. Tough one. You
got this.
Departed.
Good one. Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram.
What do you wish for the future?
Ownership in F1 team.
I think you won! Woo! You won a gift card to Amazon.
Oh.
Enjoy it. Jeff
Love
Bezos.
it. Awesome.
Okay. So, again, thank you so much for being here, taking time out of your schedule. I know you have a hugely successful business, so successful that you were called out by Gary Vee.
Thank you.
Which is very awesome. What gets you up in the morning? What's your, big why?
My darkest moments, and the struggles I've been through and never wanting to ever be in that position.
Keeps you motivated.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
You're the founder, owner, and CEO of Imperial. What is Imperial and how does it differ from other like-minded businesses?
Sure, Imperial is an importer and a distributor of luxury high-end products in the kitchen and bath category, specifically for developers, architects, and designers, so we're B2B. And essentially we're a distributor with some design services. We have a showroom in Edgewater, New Jersey, where it's like a design studio, and we're now in 4 states, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, and Boston, which is Massachusetts.
So cool.
So yeah, so we're looking to be a national company soon, but right now we're
building your way
slowly
there. What got you into this?
Total accident. I was in a very dark patch of my life right after high school. I dropped out. I was in 10th grade. Didn't go to college. I am Russian and Turkish, which is like Azerbaijan, so it's almost like a Turkish country. So you're, sort of in a category in a neighborhood usually, with a specific crowd, and I just went left really quickly, very easily, and before you know it, I was in a bad crowd, bad, predicaments and bad situations, and it was getting worse and worse. And one day I just sort of hit reset, and I was total accident. I had a temporary job working at a plumbing supply, and I just, this was right after the meltdown, so it was '09, and times are starting to pick up again, and everything was great, and builders were walking around with black cards, and it literally just total accident. So I just went into that category and went all the way and never looked left or right, but it could have been
amazing.
Like anything else.
It couldn't have been because it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Well, let me ask you this, because when you said all that, you made me pause at one particular piece that I think would be really valuable to the viewers. You said, I hit reset. A lot of people want to hit reset, but they don't know how to get started or stick with it. What was your big aha about it, and how'd you get going?
The big aha was just almost being in a corner, legally, financially, just bad situations, bad circle of people, nothing happening that's positive, just more and more negative. And the hardest part was actually making the change, is what you're referring to, and that was the biggest, is just cutting, the tentacles. So you just have to cut everything around you, and sort of, whether that means moving or not answering the phone, or respectfully telling people that you gotta disappear for a little while, and if you understand, you'll still be there. If you don't, I guess it wasn't meant to be. But you have to put you first, and then if you do, then little baby steps, you'll start realizing that all of a sudden, you worked for 8 hours today and not 3 because someone else took the other hours from you. No distractions.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I think it takes a lot of strength.
For sure.
And I have a lot of admiration and respect for you for that, because I've done it myself and I know it's not an easy road.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. But that's awesome, because look where you are now.
Absolutely.
When you're in a slump professionally or personally, what are some things you do to get out of it?
One is, again, go back to the darkest moments and remember that that's the reason why you are where you are today. And second is appreciate what you already have, which reminds you that it's okay, whatever this problem is, unless it's literally going to put you out of business, you'll be fine. So just got to swallow it, muscle through it, put some music on, put some Tony Robbins on, whatever does it for you.
I love Tony Robbins.
Yep, and you just gotta, know consciously that, tomorrow is just a fresh start. Today's gonna suck, whatever hours you have left, but tomorrow is a new start, and that sort of just becomes almost like muscle memory. And then those moments of slumpness get shorter and shorter and shorter the more like discipline you have. Just like it's easier picking up weights after, going to the gym. So now it's like 5 minutes and you have like an internal slap on the face and then you get back to it.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And that's really, really good advice. And again, another thing that takes a lot of inner strength.
Of course, yeah, it's discipline for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Very cool. What are some of your favorite wellness tips or regimens that you can share with the viewers?
Totally bad at this. Just started to actually care about everything below my head now. And started trying to develop habits and things. So definitely cleaned up eating. That's a big one.
Don't you feel better?
Yeah, being on the go, you just almost think like there's no other option, so you have to go the fast food route or like just something processed or takeout. So you have to plan out your days a little better and just time manage,
Meal preps,
or just putting that time block in your schedule, knowing that this is no wavering zone. Like you have to.
I think like when I go to bed, if I think about what it's going to look like the next day, it helps me stay to it.
Yep.
But when I wake up and I know I have a crazy day and I'm not even thinking about it, I'm like off the rails.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure,
yeah.
for sure. And yeah, definitely try to obviously exercise as much as you can. The energy that builds up has to go somewhere, and that's like not healthy to keep inside. So like pool is a good one. I like that, and recently just gym.
So how long have you been on this wellness?
Since like beginning of this year.
Oh, cool.
Pretty bad.
So a few months.
Yeah, only a few
pretty
months.
great.
But huge difference.
Yeah,
already.
and a few months more than you were last year. So
for sure.
That's awesome. So you feel a huge difference, like internally, energetically.
I think energy, like I've always had high levels of energy. I don't think that's changed, but just I feel like less grogginess in the morning. I could stay up a little bit later, and
you're sharper.
Exactly.
You fire better. Okay, if you could give your former self one piece of advice that you wish you knew then, what would it be?
Start earlier.
Really?
Yeah.
You're so young.
No, it's never, because I feel like, especially if you decide to be an entrepreneur, you always have that itch inside, you just don't know what it is. And today, society does a great job of exploiting that, that's why entrepreneurs are getting younger and younger, and you have, 18, 17-year-old millionaires and billionaires. But before, you were told, whatever is it that you're feeling, put that back on the shelf because you have geometry tomorrow, because you have science tomorrow, you have baseball practice tomorrow.
It's so bad.
Meanwhile, 50% of those kids hated every single one of those activities. So that was me, and I knew just from a young age, it's crazy that I think about it now, literally this moment, that I had this like vision of like, no matter what I do, I'm gonna be okay. Because I had this like fire inside that always allowed me to figure it out, like be quick with things.
That is really super grounded.
And then I was just like, and I think my mom referred to it like a couple of holidays ago. She was like, you probably don't remember, but at like 15, 14, you told me to stop pressing you about school, that like no matter what, you're gonna have a business, and like whether it's garbage or like finance, you'll be okay. And whether it's willing things into reality or I don't know, but I feel like people, just need to be really honest with themselves, and
Yeah, I mean, all of what you just said is so cool. I think you can manifest a lot of things, but I think you must have some level of intuition if you were able to foreshadow that and feel so strong about it that you were willing to take risks. Because I think a lot of times we get in our head about everything, and if we don't have that intuition that we are tapped into, that's going to take over this. But if you're centered and have the intuition, then that kind of usually...
Absolutely. Agree.
So cool. I love this interview.
Awesome.
It's all about gratitude. What is one thing that you are grateful for?
The fact that my mom was smart enough to come to this country. Now will be, at the end of this year, will be 21 years.
Wow.
So if that didn't happen, I would be not in such a good place. Because here, you know, especially now with technology and the state of entrepreneurship and how easy it is, you know, to start a business and be an entrepreneur and be a business owner, you know, it's like almost a gift to be alive in this moment. So I think that was the biggest thing I'm grateful for.
That's pretty awesome, and I don't think people who live here and are from here recognize how great this place is.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing.
For sure.
We're so lucky.
For sure.
Yeah. Who has been the biggest influence in your life and why?
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Cool.
He was the first and last business book I ever read. It just so happens that I hate reading. During the entire process of me starting a business up until now, I haven't read any books. Okay. So I pick up one.
So you just answered my next question.
Okay,
no,
good.
I was kidding.
So I read one book because the job that I was at the moment was a sales position, and the GM was like this self-motivated guy, and he would always try to bring books to meetings to try to motivate the salespeople. And there was this book called Delivering Happiness by Tony Hsieh. Awesome book. I read it and I was like, wait a second, like this explains it like in a really simple way of how easy it is to actually operate a business. Well, not on so many words, obviously there's intricate parts, but to like start it, customer service, basic finance.
It made it attainable to you.
Yeah. So I was like, wait a second, this is the time where Instagram is now popular and you have entrepreneurs and speakers popping on. Gary is literally the first guy I come in contact by luck, you know, and I didn't get poisoned by anything else. Yeah, again, maybe not luck. And I think I related because he kept on saying that he's, you know, Russian immigrant, same story. Mm-hmm. And I pick up Crush It. It's like, as much as I can't read it, I'm gonna try. I try to read it, can't do it. So I was like, I'm gonna do the audio thing because his voice, like whatever he says, it just sticks.
Yeah.
Like I can retain information that way. So I listened to Crush It, and I think I re-listened to it maybe like 10 times.
Awesome.
Like every single point, I was like, stop, wrote it down.
You couldn't get enough.
I couldn't get enough. I took all of that, put that into a small business while I was working full time, put my head down, and since then, there's been no other content, so it's only always been him, and till this moment.
That's amazing. That's so cool. And I mean, for a non-reader to want to read a book, that says a lot about Gary Vee.
For sure.
Yeah, and he's doing great stuff on Instagram too.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
One of the best.
So what's the best way for viewers to contact you?
Would be Instagram. We're most active on Instagram. That's
What's your handle?
At Imperial KB, like kitchens and baths.
And we'll also post it for you.
Awesome.
So we'll take out what are some of your favorite books and go to what are some of your favorite podcasts or tools that have supported you on your journey.
Podcast would be the same, Gary Vee's podcast, because I'm always on the go, and traveling, so I could listen to that. Other than that, just really just trying stuff myself. Like I'm all about trying to put myself out of business. You know, I take that, I literally quote Gary, and you know, and I do that every day. Like, so this is a quote of mine actually. So someone did a podcast and they took it out, and I don't even know I said it. I bet the house every day I walk out the door. So like I have this crazy attitude of, you know, some random vendor calls me and he was like, we don't have an office, we don't know where we're going, but we have this amazing product. You want to invest $25,000? I'll write that check. Like I'm that guy. So, right. But usually it net, it, you know, it's got me where I am. So I'm all about that.
Very far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is your mom so proud of you?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so these videos are all about sharing. What's your #1 tip for the viewers to live their best lives?
This is a good one. I think goes back to knowing who you really are, and concentrate on what you're good at versus trying to fix what you're bad at, because that might take a lifetime. And then you wake up at 70 with nothing but regret in the mirror, and that hurts. So I think if you find who you are first, whether it's, you know, taking pictures of birds or being an architect or whatever, more than likely in today's time you can make a very successful career out of that with passion behind it, and you don't have to listen to anyone, you don't have to, you know, work in an office that you don't like, you don't have to do what society wants you to do or once said you have to do. You know, again, we're in this magical moment of time where you could literally, you know, be your own judge and jury. So I think that would be my biggest piece of advice. And then on top of that, of course, go all in and triple down and not listen to the noise.
not listen to the noise. That is so important. I mean, we just get caught up in it and it then takes over. And I just did a whole video on meditation, and they say you have 70,000 thoughts on average a day.
Wow.
And at least 80% of them are negative.
Oh, wow. Oh yeah, for sure.
So, I mean,
I think about quitting this once a day.
No
Probably.
way.
Oh yeah, like
Still?
mini thought for sure, because now the gambles are bigger.
Right,
the
that's
problems
true.
are bigger.
Yeah.
So we're doing multi-unit projects. You know, perfect example. We just had 25 kitchens delivered in the wrong color. You know, that's a tough week. You know?
That's rough. Yeah,
and
I
that's,
get it now.
you
You're
know,
right.
like 10,000 in the hole. We haven't even fixed it yet. So like now it's just like it's almost like mini anxiety / thoughts. So, but again, it's like the gym. You know, next year it'll be 100 units, and then the 20 units won't seem so bad anymore.
Right.
So it's just.
So you have the perspective. It's just sometimes you get.
Oh,
taken
it's
away by it.
inevitable.
Yeah.
Just like, the best, athletes, they stop and they go in the locker room and they're like, this is not for me.
Right, right, yeah.
I'm never going to make it. And then they're win the
Then
cup next year.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's normal.
Is there anything that I should have asked that I didn't?
No, I think we covered a lot of good ones.
All right, awesome. Do you want to have some juice?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Of course.